Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamac, this is Lobotomy Corporation, and this is going to be a pain. I'm tackling something that might be spoilers, so if you have no idea about this game and it looks interesting from the 10 seconds you've seen, don't look at it. Throughout the game, you're given some extreme challenges to tackle, called core suppressions. Completing them gives you cool stuff. For example, trying to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but actually, no, that's not. Oh, whatever. Point is, I click the core suppression button, weird stuff happens here. Meet the maximum level of Clive-Off countdown plus meet the energy quota. An anomaly with the flow of time itself is detected. So, an important thing about this fight the clock is sabotaged. If we try to speed up the clock or to slow it down, we get told off. If we try to pause the game, something much worse happens. I'm not going to demonstrate it. But the point is that we need to be in position to deal with any problematic abnormalities that we have. This is probably the biggest problem that we have with this day, because Queen of Hatred gets very upset if clerks aren't dying every meltdown level. And depending on what sort of ordeals we face later in the day, we might run out of clerks to sacrifice to appease her, so it is entirely possible we might have to fight her while having zero pausing. Over here is another problem, melting love. If she gets out, then it's not the end of the world. We do have agents capable of handling her. The problem is that every clerk that she infects is going to turn into another enemy for us to fight. And that's just not something you want to deal with on high speed. So step 1 is to move all my agents into positions that they can deal with the upcoming problems. Preferably park them directly under anywhere that I want them to work. This is something that screwed up my last run. I wasn't gonna keep it, but then I realized I misjudged something. Specifically, I accidentally sent you to work with Censored while wearing Black Week gear. That's why you have Smile at the moment, specifically so if I make that mistake a second time, it doesn't screw up my run. Nothing there. He's not the worst. We do have agents that can easily handle him, we just have to be ready to get to him in an emergency. Call me crazy, but I'd like to have our friend here go and do a little bit of stat grinding. Probably not the right time of the day to do that, but oh well. Rose is going to be working on the bottom floor. I want to ignore King of Greed as much as possible because I just don't want to deal with her on top of no pausing. But in the case that she does trigger a meltdown, Rose, captain of the disciplinary team, is going to be in position because she has generally decent odds of getting through it and even under meltdown. Queen Bee, I have been farming some gear. I'm probably going to finish farming her gear. These corridors for the disciplinary and extraction team are actually extremely long, which is why they're a good place to use the Queen of Hatred weaponry on. On the top floor, our captain here, I believe Parker, I can't tell because his name is covered up. His job is going to be taking the blessing, and then he's going to act as our suppressant. Anywhere that Sound of the Star can get used, Sound of the Star getting used. Maybe I should have had 2 copies of that weapon equipped. Too late to fix that now. Um, you, I believe I want to stick around here, so the question is, what's your job? I don't know. Our two quote-unquote rookies from the training department are going to be on bird watching duty. If Punishing Bird gets out, it's going to stop in one of these elevator shafts and then go do something else. And I think I remember what your job is now. Your job is to wait at the top of the training department. Your job is to wait at the bottom. Our captain of the training team is Velasquez. Is one of the few people that can handle Judgment Bird safely. I could give her the Justicia equipment so she has even better resistance, but it's kind of overkill. Information Team Captain Mal is going to wait at the bottom of the information team. Actually, better yet, you're going to wait in front of the Scarecrow because that's what we need you to kill. Farmer Bob was originally a counter Scarecrow, but, well, he got too leveled up. He can wait in front of the shelter. Incidentally, I have a little color code for my characters here. If they're wearing the green stem armor, they're wielding the Exuvier weapon, and that's a very good weapon. I approve. Anywhere that we need some emergency red damage, they're going to be in position to get to it. Captain of the Corbinian is our captain of the safety team. He's going to be in charge of guarding big and might be bad Wolf's corridor. There's still room for another person to move around. Let's move you up to the top of the safety team. You go attachment work with La Luna, and you go and... Actually, you've almost capped your stats from working with Censored. Go work with Censored anyway. You've got the B hat now! That means it'll be really disappointing should the day go badly and I have to reset. You'll be fine working here. You go up here and you work with this. And you go hang out in this corridor. Okay, so we've almost triggered a meltdown. If 3 clerks aren't dead, then Queen of Hatred is going to get very unhappy. Now, the fact is, we might actually need the extra wiggle room. Meltdowns will never target a core under suppression, but that doesn't mean that we want to leave her unhappy for a day. So, 3 disciplinary clerks have to go. I'm targeting disciplinary first because of Melting Love. I want to be ready in case she breaches. And we have covered absolutely we've covered all of our war and ALF save the problem ones that I want to interact with as little as possible. Which means that I can choose whoever I want to be the one to push us over the meltdown level. I think I'm going to make it Punishing Bird, because I'd rather not deal with I'd rather not have to think about Punishing Bird while there's also enemies running about, so Insight work once we finish the Instinct work. Okay, you are a slight problem because everyone in the facility is too powerful. If they go in to work with him, then he might get a bit upset. But we should be fine. We should be fine in suppressing him almost immediately. Now that said, we need to sacrifice a few more clerks. I'm really disappointed because last run I actually got the Ego Gift drop from Blue Star. Oh well, you can't win on them all. I think I need to move an extra person over to work with Queen of Hatred. I probably should, but at the moment we just want to keep everything in check. We probably don't need this much energy generation early on, but it's possible that once we get to the late part of the day, we're going to see a few meltdowns get missed. So just having as much as close to the energy cap as possible is probably ideal. I'm just trying to keep my hand away from that spacebar because reflexively you always want to push it. Do we have someone in every corridor? Yes, I believe we do. In fact, no we don't, because there's a couple missing over up here. Oh well. Now I just hope that everyone is strong enough to handle this. Okay, you're good there. They have no chance with you. They're already dead in any corridor that had magical girls. The HP doesn't really matter. The problem is more actually landing hits on these guys. Noon! I think we'll be okay for noon. Every single person in the facility is wearing red resistant gear and is roughly about 100 HP. But that said, 100 HP still leaves you a little bit fragile after you take the hit. You should just duck in there. Okay, clerk sacrifices. I don't think enough people died to the amber worms that we can leave Queen of Hatred alone. So let's do something about that. Now there's an interesting little glitch that we're about to find out whether it actually exists or not. Apparently, Violet Moon when it lands, it only targets people from that facility. Unfortunately, it does mean that we're probably going to lose a good chunk of our Central Command Team clerks, which is not it's not nice because we really like having this 10 meltdown limit extender. So yeah, we can keep people from other departments in the main room, even when Violet Moon is approaching. We just have to make sure that whoever else is there is either tanky enough to survive the damage or is not in that room. It's really unfortunate because right now we're just doing a lot of waiting, but Hokma refuses to let us touch the time to skip. So we need someone else to trigger the shift in time. Yeah, you go look up the bird. And then we have to respond quickly. Okay, everyone into there. You guys go there. You guys go there. And you guys go there. And we managed to knock it out before they could cause too many problems. I'd be willing to bet that that deleted a whole bunch of clerks, so she's gonna be happy because of the crash impact. The thing is, you don't take chances when you're dealing with Queen of Hatred. Okay, from the top once more, with feeling. No signs of deaths, so we're good. There's supposed to be a magical girl and a rose working down there. They aren't dead. Okay, there's Rose. I guess I might have commanded them to go there rather than to focus on killing things, so you guys move back. That should push us to the 2 work limit. Unfortunately, we're down to a 6-second extension instead of the 10-second. We lost a lot from this thing coming crashing down into Central Command Team. I swear, it's almost guaranteed that these obelisks will land in Central Command Team, which means that you're just going to end up losing a lot of people there. We have the target amount, but we have to make it to meltdown level 10, which means we are going to have to fight a midnight doing this. And which midnight we get can make or break this run. Okay, meltdown search. Not too bad. You must be happy I'm not sure I want to deal with. But there are worse things that you can deal with. Okay, clerk extermination. We have exactly 1 clerk left. No one left in disciplinary, now we move on to another chamber. Yeah, a lot of people got killed by those obelisks. We probably didn't need to delete any more clerks. But there's our 3 clerk limit, so now work. Oh hey, we got the ego gift again. Frankly, I could almost start using the Zayn and the Actually, I only have 1 Zayn in this entire facility, how about that? But I could focus on using the HE and the Teth rather than the War and the Aleph to continue doing the levels. And just try to push through the meltdown levels as fast as I can. Yeah, I guess we could play it a bit safer. But first we need to finish off this level to make sure that we get rid of the overloads with the next use of this guy. Ooh yeah, that's a problem to target, isn't it? I need to move someone else down into that department. Wait! Oh boy. Yeah, problems can happen pretty quickly when you're not ready to pause. Or rather, not able to pause. Okay, who can we move into that corner so that we have a faster response time on Queen of Hatred? You can do it. Clerk deletion time. I would say... 2 from safety. Where else could we... Oh, there's plenty in the welfare department. Okay, so let's think about this. I want to avoid dealing with Latidia though, because if she gets a normal result, then it locks that agent into working with her for the rest of the day. And I don't particularly have time to check in on her every second. I'm going to leave Scarecrow in his cell though, because I don't want to deal with him killing more clerks than we already lost. We're going to need every single one we can spare if we're going to make it to the end of the day with the Queen of Hatred intact. And hey, we have the full Hornet set, that's nice. You know, here's the reason why here's the reason why I've been focusing on doing all the war and the Aleph, because it's just easier for me to snappily assign them. Oh, you can go back to the main room now. Once everyone is done, we push to the next level. Crimson Dusk is actually a fairly decent thing for us to have. It's annoying. It's probably going to kill more than a few clerks, but it's a lot better than Amber Dusk, because Amber Dusk makes all of the corridors a death zone. Like, even with Aleph gear, you can easily be torn to shreds by an Aleph... by the Amber Dusk. Honestly, I would almost prefer Viridian Dusk, because then I can at least kill things quickly and ensure that they cannot get in our way. Okay, you guys get down there, they need help. Oh boy, that stung! And yeah, Hokma has fast forwarded things now. Now the thing is, when you kill the Crimson Dusk, they turn into Crimson Noon. And when you kill Crimson Noon, it turns into a Crimson Dawn. We need to protect the central team clerks. Actually, you should probably come and help out with killing this thing. Where'd they spawn? You know what? You should probably come hang out in the corridor because apparently the damage there is kind of bad. Oh, also, the clock got crazy. Take it from the top. Who should we delete next? There is a clerk hanging around in the training team. That's one. We could make the assumption that enough of the clerks died. 2, 3. But you don't take chances with Queen of Hatred. Of course, this has all been the warm-up for what we might fight at the end. Honestly, I think I just prefer going with the War Aleph strategy because that way I know I've spent exactly enough of the Meltdown bar that a single work with Punishing Bird will push us to the next level. We get 6 seconds on a Meltdown timer. We have to start at the bottom and work our way up through all the problematic abnormalities. We don't want anything to breach. Any extra problems will be already too much for us to want to consider. Okay. Clean the bird. We do not want you to go off. Mad Researcher's notes, make sure we return that when we're done. No, not the wolf! Losing access to your... Losing access to the pause button screws so much over, you don't even understand. Oh, unfortunately, we didn't do Grave of Cherry Blossom. Frick! It's Violet Midnight. The run is dead. You returned that, but yeah. Violet Midnight is the one Midnight that I cannot handle, even when I'm not on 2 times speed. It would kill all the clerks, and then we'd have no way to keep a Queen of Hatred inside. Okay, you've seen my strategy, so I'm just gonna cut out now, but I'm not done with this video yet. We're going to show what happens when the RNG doesn't despise me, so catch you in a little bit. Oh, by the way, hitting escape, I'm pretty sure that hitting escape will be the same as pausing, but I don't know. Since we're resetting anyway, it doesn't actually tell us. Yeah, here's the problem. Pausing will cause a panic or a death. So yeah, catch you in a bit. If we see a new Dusk Ordeal, then I'll show that. But otherwise, I'll see you when I get back to midnight. Okay, we're back a bit. Please, for the love of all that is holy, please do not attempt this suppression with Queen of Hatred. It would be so much easier if I could just pause. But speaking of which, I figured out a way to tell whether you've burned your clef, whether you've sacrificed enough to appease Queen of Hatred. We have not. Count up your bullet stock. If you did not get an ordeal this round, and I did not get an ordeal this round, then you should be 3 bullets down before you pass over. We are not 3 bullets down, so I have to sacrifice someone to appease the Queen of Hatred. We are out of the training department. We might need the success rate. We're probably going to need the movement speed, so next on the chopping block is the safety team. Alright then, let's do this. Crimson Duck. Oh, the other thing that's cost me a run is Rin. You might notice I've changed out his armor for the Gold Rush. That is because, on a previous attempt, a Green Noon spawned right on top of him. Now, this wouldn't normally be a problem, but I had given him the notes from a crazed researcher and I hadn't returned it, so it ended up causing him to explode. I've basically swapped in all of no more HE gear, everyone's in war or better. I've traded out some of the trashy war weapons for much better ones. And yeah, now we have Crimson Dusk. Annoying but doable. I think... Out of everyone, I think you'd be the least use, so go chat with Void Dream. And yep, everything's sped up now. That's one of them being hammered. Where's the other? Okay, the other is being distracted by Siki. She can handle that fine. That one, not so much. It's going very quickly. Although it's also going to end up in Siki's way. The thing is, she has 0.3 damage resistance and 115 HP. Red shields for everyone. Okay, I believe every corridor is populated, so the moment that they start spawning the little clowns, we should be fine. I say that, but maybe go help out. Oof. I did not want to deal with the big bad wolf this late in the day. Okay. We need to sacrifice 3 clerics. We probably lost a couple thanks to the struggle at the climax. Neville! Stop wandering around this cleric, I'm trying to shoot them. 1, 2. 1 more cleric. Safety team, there's a few we can spare. And now back to the grind. Usually you use the Queen Bee for fortitude training, but that has a slightly lower success rate, and we do not want to mess about on a day like this where we can't pause. Also, we don't want to mess about on a day where we're forced to the very end of the day, and Queen of Hatred is around. You can move back into that corridor now that we are trying to keep everything in check. I'm so annoyed that Big Bird never showed up. Although it's possible he did show up and I just never did the thing and I didn't feel safe taking him. Which is kind of dumb. He's pretty easy to suppress. You just have to be careful. On a day like today it would be pretty tricky to keep him suppressed, I'll admit. We have spent the bullets. Everyone is finished. Oh yeah, I also gave a mimicry set to the person we're keeping in the control room with Punishing Bird. Not because I expect Punishing Bird to take a hit, but because he's probably going to be the person that we send out to grab things and push it levels. Okay, 5 meltdowns. Keep an eye open. Shoot. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, we've already handled it. Granted, Siki might struggle to get there in time. Okay, we're good. Sacrifices for the... Okay. No one left here. There is someone here that we can go for. 1. Yeah, we've run out of clerks. 2. 3. So, now here's the catch. Green Midnight. This is significantly easier to handle than Violet Midnight, but we have to do some pre-preparations for it. So for now, incidentally, Green Midnight is how people generally like to go about how to easily kill White Knight, but it only works. It's a very long time to go with White Knight in the facility, only to risk White Knight not being at the very top, at the very midnight. So I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have to get him into the information team, which he jumps about at the start of each day, so it's kind of RNG, but he can get there eventually. And then, when you get to Green Midnight, it's going to just laser him, and he will not be able to take the amount of damage it puts out for being directly underneath him. Okay, we did actually have a meltdown on Melting Love. But we're good. We only had to do it once. And now we have to bundle everyone together. Checking to make sure that no one is left. Okay, everyone out into here. We need to cycle between all of our ranged units and all of our melee units. The melee units will not get to participate. So you are ranged. Melee. Ranged. 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 Melee. Melee. Ranged. Melee. 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 Sounds like I'm naming characters for Super Smash Bros. A bit. Melee. 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 That one's arranged. Melee. So the thing is that this one gets slightly unpredictable when you're fighting it with melee classes. In theory, you can do it perfectly fine, but that's if you have the pause button. We don't have a pause button, so I'm just not going to take the risk. You are You are melee. But I also need you to be in a specific position for caution. Out of everyone, he has the best black defense in the facility. We can figure out how to move him into a safer position later. For now, move everyone slightly over a little bit further. Yeah, that's a big giant death ray that reaches the entire facility. Everyone is dead. On the upside, I don't have to remember about, I don't have to worry about Queen of Hatred.
because she will be in the right position now. Once we see it start to sweep, we move out of position. We don't want to get too daring here. Especially since we don't know how fast our team goes. Okay, everyone out. Well, all the melee's out. We probably could have one-rounded it, but I just don't want to mess about when I'm dealing with this at 2 times speed. Actually, no. It's 2.5 times speed. Faster than you can actually set the game, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so that will sate the Queen of Hatred. Now we can just focus on tidy up. Now here's the question. Does it trigger on X, or do I have to also complete the X meltdown? Either way, we're good, because the X meltdown should... Even though it'll upset the Queen of Hatred, she won't have enough time to kill anyone before we tick over to the end of the suppression, but still... I do not stand a chance with Violet Midnight as the thing. Nope, he's still clicked. We can let that melt down. We cannot let this melt down. Oh no, 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 no. Not 17! If she breached at the very end of the day, then we'd be in a lot of trouble. I should have been way more careful. And I was not careful. Grave of Cherry Blossoms just killed Corbinian. We're just gonna have to eat it. I'm going to reset anyway, so I'm going to bring him back from the dead later. But still, that bites. Just an A rank because someone died at the end. I'm going to memory repository because I really want to get my hands on Big Bird, the Twilight weapon, but ugh. How is it that I knew when I first talked to Grave of Cherry Blossoms, it was against a bunch of bad other picks, but I was absolutely done with resetting for the Central Command team. Anyway, this is going to be plot, so I won't show that. But yeah, until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around.